Sorry, continuation here. The basic conclusion of that philosophy forms the tenets, okay, the precepts upon which people are expected to think and behave, okay. They're not arbitrary. They're arrived at after a series of sort of long, enduring and aggressive kind of thought, trying to grapple with the fundamental condition of human life and reality, and one's basic approach to all of it. I ran out of storage on my iPhone. I had to fucking dump some games and stuff like that. So the hard line of it is, ethics fundamentally. Get back to the heart of what's required. Logic, reason, ethics, this sort of thing, okay? So what I mean about keeping it on the straight and narrow is avoiding the sort of propaganda, the politics that people have put in place, pre-baked ideas that are currently governing the way we think about things right now. It's been put that way to us because it's meant to fail. It's meant to fail. It's not meant to get to the conclusion. What they are known for is ultimately dancing around the point like a bunch of savage fucking psychos about to commit some kind of a crazy sacrifice, okay? What they will never ever do is get to the point and actually address the subject or the issue so that you can actually solve the problem, all right? Which is what we need to do when we see something like homelessness spreading throughout our country and the housing crisis flaring out of control, the government refusing to regulate and do anything to put stops on landlords or to stop them from being able to invest in something like primary residential units or houses that are built for like a couple of people or a family. What does big business have any interest in fucking taking those homes? There's no reason to do it except to create a sort of neo-colonialism wherein they are the new feudal lords over us. They fucking, intimidate us. They can wipe us out at will by extorting rent we can't afford. We end up dead on the street. It's a fucking ongoing recipe for Holocaust. The government's meant to stop that, to prevent that from happening, okay? But they won't fucking solve it because they're too busy playing a bullshit politic. And that comes in the form of conservatism and what they call neoliberalism. Neither constitute a solution. They won't work. They're not meant to work. Just like the religions as they've been set up, they're not meant to work. They're meant to enslave you. They're meant to enslave your mind, and they're meant to get rid of the narratives that are required to achieve our liberation. And this is what we're trying to avoid. We need to avoid that, and we got to stick to the point and stick to our guns and make sure that we're having the critical dialogue that's required to get to these vital concerns and address them specifically and fully to the point of resolution. So this is what we're doing, okay? This is the point of my channel, okay? And I got to ask you right now, what do you think about that? I'm going to throw this up on YouTube and you can tell me, man, what do you think about that? How do you feel the narrative is going in public today? How do you feel we're managing to effectively or not effectively address these matters of critical national importance? For the people of our country. We're talking about our brothers, our sisters, man, our cousins, our friends, our the people we grew up with, went to school with, the fellow fucking patriots, okay? Men on the land. They're all of a sudden we're going to let them die? We're going to let them die. Why? Because they didn't get selected in a fucking game of musical chairs? We all went and got bootstrapped. I'm going to move away from this here. We all lined up and did our job. Whether or not they fucking wanted us, that's up to them. But one thing's for sure is they had us since a young age. We didn't have a choice whether or not we went to school. We had to go. They fucking made us sit whether we liked them or not, or agreed with them or not, or found virtue or worth in them or not. We had to fucking swallow their fucking orders and do what they said. Whether or not it even benefited us. We could have been out picking fucking blueberries. We could have been weaving baskets, doing any number of things to try to feed ourselves and build a fucking store of our own. Of reward, okay? We didn't. We got paid $0 fucking dollars the whole time, many of us until we're almost 30 years old. You're supposed to have kids by the time you're 19. People are only thinking about it when they're almost 40 and their eggs are fucking dried up. Why? Because they were meant to be professional this and that. Well, who fucking spends all that time training for a job they didn't even get? They didn't get it, it's not guaranteed to them, and yet they're all fucking bulked up on something like an education for a position that might not even be there for them when they go to claim it. and then they're not selected, and we fucking throw them on the street. We let the fucking landlords throw them on the street to their death. Please, this is fucking bullshit. And this is what this is about. To put an end to the bullshit propaganda in politics, in religion, in any other field where they drag you back to the right wing, which is fascism. And that's everything. Everything that you see today in media is basically that, okay? So we have to stop them from doing that. That's why they say history's a cycle. That's what conservatives like to say. It wraps back. It's like a snake eating its own tail. They keep trying to wrap us back up into the same error, the same fucking false way of thinking, the same broken logic. They just got to break it in certain ways. And then they know you'll lack the critical thinking and the fundamental ethical requirements to get to the right answer. There is no intelligence truly unless it's moral intelligence. Virtue is not an option when it comes to sanity and intelligence. It's a requisite part. Okay? So look, I can get pissed off. I could talk about this all day, but I'm out in the bush. I'm walking around, and I don't want to reveal too much about my surroundings here, but I thought I'd stop here and maybe take a bit more footage. You could all get a view of kind of what I'm about here. Look, check it, okay? Big up to the fucking fallen soldiers, the warriors that fought off the Nazis in World War II. I didn't forget. I do my thing every day. I've been doing it since I was a boy. My dad made me watch fucking World War II documentaries my whole young life. I can't even, since I was a boy, until I was in my later years. I don't think it was until I tried suicide a couple times till he cut it out. He's like, fuck, maybe this guy's a little bit too high strung. Maybe I surrounded him with too much ideas of death and war. And I came up against Nazis in institution anyway. They didn't fucking like me, obviously. From high school vice principal, giving me a hard time based on how I dressed, wanted to fuck my girlfriend because maybe I'm going out with the prettiest girl in school, who turns out wasn't as cool as I thought. But stupid little fucking, roided out twerp, swooning over, the late. Fuck, no, don't even get me started about that prick. Anyway, look, it never fucking ends, okay? I could tell you stories about my life, and I will, and we're going to head into that with my YouTube page. But know this, that the main point here is that we find a path to something like a social dialogue that gets us to where we need to go and actually mobilizes us to stick to that fucking point. That we do not get moved aside by these creeps and their bullshit, okay? It's never ending with them. It's a fucking sideshow, it's pageantry. We got to be hard line, on the straight line. We got to be fucking unmovable. And when they give us a hard time, we got to hit them fucking hard and make them think twice about feeding us bullshit when lives are on the line. So you hear that? I was going to be prime minister. I swear to God. I was always head of my fucking class, and I'll tell you right now, I can be and will be again if that's how it goes. The only question is, does this country have the fucking balls, okay? Because if they do, here I come. Here it fucking comes. The answer's coming.